Yes, I am.
Okay, what's up, Purple?
Uh, well, I like in the time that he was talking, I've wrote like two questions. Um, and I've talked with Lance before about this, and maybe like some opinions about it or how you guys are gonna handle like mods have changed. So, like my main question was how would they fundamentally function, and make sure, and how would you guys make sure that everything just like works securely? As like if you're gonna end up making them installable through like the web interface, which I'm probably guessing is planned, you wouldn't want to make basically turn this into a hack the box challenge competitor basically. So uh, how
Yeah.
would that
So
is there any has there anything changed since the last time we really talked?
so the main answer for that is at the beginning we're going to be manually reviewing every submitted plugin line by line, just going through the code, and then also using there's some automated tools to help us spot anything funny going, but um, for the time being, they're going to be manually approved just to help protect the users. And then the idea is to get some, automated security solution and to help scan things and flag anything suspicious. But I would definitely, until we know that that works well enough to protect users, we're going to be putting in a bunch of, requirements, so if, for example, we're going to tie it to Discord, so, you have to have a a decently aged Discord account. There'll be time limits to even submit things. There'll be, you won't be able to just submit like 10 different plugins. And the fact that it will take even a little bit of time to make a plugin, we'll be offering kind of a structured framework so that anybody can just copy that, download it, and make tweaks and create some basic plugins. But the idea is, yeah, they can share their code freely. But in order for it to get to the hub, where essentially everything will be curated, it's going to go through um, a bunch of manual review before it hits any of our users.
All right, sounds good. Um,
If
oh
I
yeah,
get a
and
hundred new plugin requests to be put up on the hub store, then I'm gonna have a rough week, I suppose. So we'll
um,
cross that bridge when we get to it.
yeah, but like as that hub would grow, you and people release updates, how would that like be handled like um quickly? Because sometimes like you can't prevent this. There could be like some point where someone has in an approved plugin a security issue. How would that person go about releasing a hotfix as soon as possible?
Sure, we would
Okay,
have ways. Sorry,
so
Lance.
you're,
I'm
so
sure
you're
we would
saying
have
if
ways. Like if they need to push like an urgent update, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking for,
okay,
like a plugin?
Well, like you make a plugin and then you have to like push something quickly that's changing a vital part of how it works or something. How would that be like handled on the review side?
so right now I would say there's two solutions for that. One is essentially checking a box saying it is a security update so that it gets pushed to the top of the queue and alerts us via email and hell, text messages, why not? And then the second thing would be um, so we're still trying to figure this out, but essentially um, a way of auto updates from plugins. So the idea is the panel, like everybody's panel, if they have the setting enabled, they'd be able to pull these updates automatically. And
Alright.
we're not going to force it on anybody, but we're going to encourage people so that they get those security updates ASAP. You know.
Alright. Yeah. And I'm guessing like developers would be able to like set up a development environment and just instantly that like the changes in C and like develop that right. Like like compared to like you would need to give developers like a environment to work with so they can easily develop their stuff. I'm guessing
Right.
that would be given as well.
Sorry. So you're saying it's a little hard to hear you still, but you're saying giving developers kind of like a spin up environment to develop plugins. Was that your question?
Yeah, like a way to like on their panel easily like develop something.
Yeah. So yes, I'm hoping that um, to essentially develop a skeleton that even beginner developers would be able to make simple stuff with. So, you know, I'm hoping to spend a good amount of time on it. The actual implementation of getting plugins to work, I believe I shared a little bit with you before, but it's not super complicated. In essence, it's PHP, and PHP can just import and load external files at will, willy-nilly. The hard part is all the things you're talking about with security updates, making sure people don't try to break into your panel, etc. So um,
Yeah.
that's all the tricky parts. So that's why the plugin system is going to be one of the things I'll be working on in the next month or two. I'm hoping in the next like within a month from now, finishing up the changes to the back end. Anybody can go see those at pelican.dev. I think in maybe an hour or two, I wouldn't mind streaming some of the other changes. It's not a lot, but give people a kind of a real life view and just maybe develop a little bit. But yeah, I hope that answers your questions for now.
All right. One more.
Sure.
Um, like I might already know the answer, but I'm just asking this anyways. Are there any plans on making like if it's even possible, making the modifications some kind of sandbox so they can't really do bad stuff, right?
I've thought about it, and I don't have any plans for it now to make kind of a sandboxed environment. Just the level of doing that, um, and for what it offers, it obviously offers security, but just getting it right would be very hard, and it would just be essentially taking one level of checking security and moving it, to a different level. So instead of checking each plugin for security, yes, you're only checking one system, but it is kind of that sandbox system. And
Yeah.
like for example, Chrome and Firefox and other browsers have a sandbox environment, and obviously theirs is going to be a little bit more complicated than ours, but they're multi companies working on that stuff, and their sandbox gets breached all the time. So
Yeah.
it's it is tricky, but if enough people show interest in it, I am happy to you know to look towards it. I
All
just
right.
I posted in the GitHub discussions and upvote it. And like I said before, we're going to be looking at that list and to see, we're essentially we're going to be building what people want, and if we can't, then we're going to recommend that they build a plugin, and then we're going to get their plugin, up on our kind of like our little hub marketplace store, whatever you want to call it.
All right. And do you have any idea of what like the modification APIs would probably be like? What a modification can interact with?
I didn't catch all that.
Well, basically, how Blueprint works, it has different modification, like extension APIs, we call it, where an extension can interact with. What are the plans for Pelican to what Pelican modifications can like interact with on the Pelican panel?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make some kind of helpers out there, but for right now, it would let you do anything to the panel, essentially, swap anything out if you know what you're doing. But like I said, I'll be trying to make helper methods so that and classes and functions so that it's easier to swap in your own stuff. So for example, like to add navigational menu items or that kind of thing.
And I now like I saw some screenshots floating around which instantly reminded of that thing the source exchange dashboard users would filament.
Yep, we are using filament.
Yeah. Like that's only for the admin panel, right? For now.
Yes, that's for the /admin. Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
We're not changing the front end at the moment. We're looking to make some updates and upgrades to it. But I mean, for the moment, the kind of that front end interface that you see that lets you start and stop the server, send commands. That's honestly pretty. Like it's we'll make some improvements to it, but for now it's pretty simple to use and to get around. The back end though, it has a lot of options and there's a lot to it, and there's not really any instructions or guide. So what I've been working on in the last couple weeks really, is just revamping that, making it so with filament and making that so it is so much easier to just use and just get started. Like with pterodactyl, you go in, you install it, you have to go and run the command to make a new user, and then you have to go log in, go to the back end /admin, and then okay, I want to create a server, so you go and try to create a server. Well, you can't because you need a node.
I've been there so many times.
Yeah, so you need a node and you need some eggs. So you
And
go and import your
you
eggs.
also need a location. You go down like a rabbit hole of multiple things you need to create. Like you want to create a server, you create a node. You want to create a node, you need a location.
Yeah. Alrighty. Did you have any other questions? We're probably going to move on to the next person here.
Yeah.
You're welcome to DM me.
Yeah, I think I have I got all the questions answered.
Alrighty, thank you so much. I will talk to you later. Take care.
No problem. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.